Canelo Alvarez has spoken. He says that the WBC, Mauricio Suleiman, or nobody can make him do anything. He already has his plan set for 2023, and David Benavidez ain't in them. Before we get into this next video, make sure that y'all hit my like button and subscribe to the channel if you're not already subbed to the channel. What's up with it? So it looks like that Canelo Alvarez already got his plan set up for 2023. And David Benavidez ain't in it. Now, we know the last time that we seen Canelo Alvarez in the ring was against Gennady Golovkin back in May. And, it was a cool performance. I thought it was all right. It wasn't his best performance. In his last two performances, he haven't looked the same. A lot of people tell you that Canelo Alvarez looking like he fading. A lot of people tell you that he's fighting too much. He has a lot of wear and tear on his body from back to back training camps, and he needed a rest. Well, we know that Canelo Alvarez just got a hand surgery. He's healing from the hand surgery, and he says that he will be back in May. Now, the thing is that the last time we saw him against Gennady Golovkin, it was in the fight that nobody was really calling for. Gennady Golovkin is 40 years old. Gennady Golovkin looks well past his prime, and a lot of people said, hey, it's a lot of other opponents out there that Canelo Alvarez should be fighting at 168-pound weight division, and he shouldn't be fighting Golovkin, having him move up to 168 when Golovkin has been a professional for over 15 years and ain't never fought at the weight division. He stayed at 160 pounds his whole career. So why now are you fighting Gennady Golovkin in the third fight when you could have fought him way back in 2018 in the third fight, or at least 2019, and you wait until 2022 to fight him when nobody's calling for it? But a lot of people say that it was already in the contract. Some people say that Canelo Alvarez was just doing what DAZN wanted. But he tells you that he does what he wants to, right? Can't nobody tell Canelo Alvarez what to do and when to do it, because he does what he wants. And he walking around like a king, and that's how he conduct himself if you ask him and his people around him. Well, when it comes to David Benavidez, not so much. So Canelo Alvarez, he come out and he says that his plan for 2023 is to fight in a warm-up fight, right? A tune-up, whatever you want to call it. And then he wants to go after Dimitri Bivol. Well, I don't really believe the Bivol part, because I really don't think he want no smoke with Bivol. Bivol is only getting better. You feel me? And as far as the tune-up, it's crazy because when Errol Spencer's coming off car accidents and torn retinas and all that shit, he don't need no tune-up. But Canelo Alvarez needs a tune-up to see how he feels. Most of your fights look like tune-ups. That's why when we're calling for you to fight David Benavidez or Caleb Plant in a rematch, and a lot of people don't want to see a rematch between him and Caleb Plant, but it's better than a tune-up. You feel what I'm saying? And he just came straight out and said that, look, he got his plan set for 2023. He only fighting two fights. Like I said, one is a tune-up fight. The next fight he going to fight is against Bivol. Well, now we know that the fight between David Benavidez and Caleb Plant is supposed to be the final eliminator for Canelo Alvarez's strap, making whoever wins that fight the interim WBC champion to Canelo Alvarez's strap at 168. Now that means that Canelo either has to fight them or vacate. But Canelo said, nuh-uh. He not fighting damn one of them, right? He already has his plan set, and he says that Mauricio Suleiman can't make him do nothing. The WBC can't make him do nothing. He does what he wants. And when he says that, he's absolutely right, because Mauricio Suleiman will mandate some shit for Canelo Alvarez. He'll tell you that Canelo has to face the winner of those two, but then when the time comes around, he'll pretend like he never said it. They'll make a million excuses for Canelo Alvarez, and so, like Canelo Alvarez says, he does what he wants because they let him do what he wants. Money talking, bullshit walk. Mauricio Suleiman knows that Canelo Alvarez right now at this moment, at this point in time, generates the most money. Right? He's the most active and he generates the most money. And so Mauricio Sulaiman, he gonna do what's best for his pockets. That's what it's all about. He's gonna do whatever he has to cater to Canelo Alvarez. But people are sick of seeing this. You know what I'm talking about? Because people saying, look, David Benavidez, he's been Canelo Alvarez's mandatory on 2 separate occasions. And I know I'm not counting Caleb Plant out, because Caleb Plant, he can shock everybody. He can go beat David Benavidez. Myself, I think it's a 50-50 type fight with him and David Benavidez. And I'm talking about Caleb Plant and David Benavidez. But I do favor David Benavidez at this point in time. But you know, Caleb Plant, he could win that fight. And would I hate to see a rematch between Caleb Plant and Canelo Alvarez? No, I wouldn't hate that fight, because I think that Caleb Plant has gotten better since then. I think that they threw Caleb Plant in a situation to where he wasn't ready for Canelo Alvarez. He wasn't ready to fight on the stage like that, you know. And we could see it as the fight went on. He just wasn't ready. You know, that man only had like 19 or 20 fights at that point in time. Never had been on a big stage. The best opponent that he ever had been in the ring with was Jose Uzcategui. And then he fought a lot of, you know, C-level fighters other than that. So how can you just throw him on a big stage in with a Canelo Alvarez? And yeah, he wanted to fight, so I'm not crying about that. You know what I'm saying? But we all know that he wasn't ready. If they do have a rematch and he get past David Benavidez and fuck around and beat David, oh yeah, he gonna be more than ready for a rematch with Canelo Alvarez. And the fight might go different. But like I said, David Benavidez is the boogeyman. Canelo Alvarez shows you why he the boogeyman, because he make a million excuses and he tell you flat out he's not fighting David Benavidez. And everybody's asking, why won't you fight David Benavidez? Well, the answer is simple. The answer is easy. He don't want to have no fights where he looks at the fighter and says, this fighter has a possibility of beating me. The only reason he fought Bivol, like I say over and over again, is because Bivol was a fighter that didn't look too good his previous like 2 or 3 outings before he fought Canelo. So, you know, most people, the majority of people, thought it was going to be a pretty easy fight for Canelo Alvarez. And Canelo and his team thought the same thing. They was cherry picking, right? They thought they was cherry picking, but that's what happens when cherry picking goes wrong. You feel me? Now he know what type of fighter that Bivol is. And that's why I don't think that he wants no parts of Bivol. He don't want none of that smoke with Bivol. He gonna go in there and he gonna get his ass whooped worse. He can't beat Bivol. Bivol is getting better, and Canelo Alvarez, he look like he on a downtrend. You know, knock, knock. Open the door for David Benavidez, because it's finna be a new sheriff in town, if you ask me. About to be a new sheriff in town. Canelo Alvarez know it. All his fans know it, and they don't want no smoke. They don't want no smoke with that dude. You know what I'm saying? Even a lot of the expert trainers and say, hey, nah, Canelo not messing with David Benavidez. He's too much. And Canelo know that. So yeah, you know, I would like to see Canelo come back and take on the best competition, but he don't have that nowhere in his plans. So I don't know what they gonna do with that WBC strap. They're gonna make an excuse for, matter of fact, I know exactly what they're gonna do. They're gonna make an excuse for Canelo Alvarez, says that he had an exemption, he was out with an injury. They're gonna let him come back, take his little funky tune up, and then they're gonna let him make another excuse so he don't have to fight David Benavidez, and they not gonna honor their word and make him fight David Benavidez and strip him. We see it time and time again with Canelo Alvarez. That's why they gave him that franchise title, so he can move and groove and fight whoever he want to, and fight Rudy Poot after Rudy Poot if that's what he want to do. Now, I'm not saying that he been fighting Rudy Poots, but he ain't been fighting the best. You feel me? So let's just wait around, and I guarantee you that they're going to make an excuse when David Benavidez, if he beats Caleb Plant, they're going to make an excuse and hold it off as long as they can so Canelo Alvarez don't have to defend that WBC title against him. Mark my word. Remember this video. Save it, download it, do whatever you want to do, because when it come around, I'm going to tell you I told you so. Anyway, y'all let me know what y'all think about Canelo Alvarez's words saying that he does what he want to do and he's not fighting David Benavidez. He already has his plan set for 2023 and Benavidez ain't in it. Hit my like button, subscribe to the channel, and y'all already know how I do. There you go, talking that boxing again, and I'm gone.
Push it to the 50, cruising through your city, super sharp, fresh fitted, hey, too cold with it. Check out the interior, it's hater me, chalkboard material.